Back at Jennerstown, still under caution. Big four-car jam session up in turn 2. This is the car of Todd Weir. Stephen Cox is in his pit.
The 44DepthPlayer.com car of Todd Weir is also in, and these guys are going to make a number of adjustments, mostly just removal of sheet metal that got torn up just a few minutes ago, and he has especially heavy damage on the front left of the car. This really took out a lot of guys barreling down into that corner in turn 1.
See if Weir is able to get back on the racetrack and see if that car will run decently. Without all the sheet metal up front, he'll be lacking some downforce at the very least. The Hooters Pro Cup Tour is very busy now that we're in the month of April. The next event for the South Series, the naturally fresh Mountain Spring Water 250, presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling, Jacksonville, North Carolina, on Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Tickets available. But if you want to know more about Hooters Pro Cup racing, check out our website, USARProCup.com. Green flag is in the air, ready to restart here at Jennerstown on lap 41. Charlie Ford is your leader in the 14 car. Right behind him is Brian Vickers, Clemens, Agnew, and rookie Jason McClellan, rounding out the first 5 as the field is away clean. Now, we're early in the action here tonight. 41 laps of 200 complete, but everybody has to be thinking about pit stop strategy at this point. Of course, each of these teams will get the opportunity to change 4 tires from what they've had on the car at the start of the race. We talked to former series champ Jeff Agnew about the pit stop strategy here tonight.
Well, we're always going to make silly mistakes because we're all going to try to be stealing spots and doing whatever we can do to try to gain something out of these pits. But, no, I think, you know, for the most part, most of these guys have probably been in racing 10, 12 years, and they're all experienced and know what they're doing.
Well, what he's talking about is these guys from the North Series do not have the experience that the guys from the South have for the last several years. Now, you do have to change 2 tires during the course of this event, somewhere through the night. So pit strategy, track position, tire wear, it's a crew chief's nightmare.
Heavy action coming out of turn 4 for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th as we watch Marty Lindley. Oh, and a caution on the Speedway. 4 laps since the last green flag restart. 1 car has turned around, the 9 of Jeremiah Kuntz. The JEHAVAH JIREH machine has spun on the racetrack, and that brings out another caution period here. So Kuntz doesn't look as though he's got any damage on that machine. Should be able to fire the race car. Now take a look in the upper right corner of your screen. You'll see 2 cars spinning, actually, not just the 9. This is the 57 of Travis Ayers getting loose first, and it looks as though Kuntz comes up on that machine and has to spin the car to avoid hitting it.
Well, what he did is he got in the brakes real hard because he saw 1 car down. The tires are still a little bit cold because we just come out of that last caution. And it's just a little bit of impatience on everybody's part.
The Kuntz has yet to refire the 9. Ayers was stopped as well on the inside below the yellow line. The Hooters Pro Cup officials over to talk to the 2 drivers. We will get set for another restart at Jennerstown. Back with plenty more on Speed Vision. We are at Jennerstown Speedway in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania, looking for a restart on lap 51, a quarter of this 200-lapper in the books. Charlie Ford is your restart leader in the Sun Graphics 14. Brian Vickers right behind him. Bill Clemens is third in the 15. Jeff Agnew fourth as we check our Sunoco full-field rundown in the top left of your screen. Mike Herman Jr. sits 10th at this point. Trouble on the backstretch. Clemens' machine. Looks like he's cut down a tire. Maybe some contact back there. Clemens in the 15 was running third. He's got major damage to the front end of that race car.
Yeah, I saw the inside line. I believe the number 6 car just didn't give him a lot of room on the outside. That's what we talked about earlier. They picked the gas up too early. They're going to run out of real estate on that outside.
Danny Abel in the 6th. That Chevrolet was right there. Clemens was trying to move by him. Of course, you've got the lead lap cars on the outside on that restart situation. And Clemens right in the middle of the racetrack as everybody tries to get around it.
Yeah, this
drops way out of
is a terrible situation because what's happened is it's taking everybody back.
Here we are on the restart. Clemens on the outside, and Abel just didn't give him enough room out.
Oh, man. You got to give a little bit more room. Those guys are on the lead lap. You're not on the lead lap. You got to give them the room.
On board now with Clemens, and there's the contact. Abel just walked him right up into the fence.
Yeah, you can hear the right front tires down, and it's dragging on the sway bar. Oh, my gosh.
And I'm surprised he didn't bring it on the pit road immediately when they came into turn 4 there.
Well, he'd have loved to, but he couldn't turn down in front of all that traffic because he took out half the field.
As we see Clemens bring the Hooters 4 down on pit road. Tough break for the driver who was running third all night long. Stephen Cox is there.
Well, Bill Clemens Jr. had a fantastic run going until you saw him flip the wall out on the backstretch. The 15 Hooters car is in the pits right now, maybe working on that front right tire. You guys can see it dragging. The crew really frustrated on how frustrated Bill is, of course. Now, the guy that has his back in the hand right here, I think you may know him from last year. That's Dale Byrd.
Clemens is down and away. Now, a short track fan might think 200 laps is a long time, but really this is a quickly run race. He's going to have a hard time getting back into contention.
Well, there's no way he can right now, and it's too bad for Bill. I've seen him race over at Peach State Speedway. It was near my house. He's raced with the likes of Matt Kenseth and Rich Beverly. I mean, actually outrun them guys. He's going to do anything he can to win one of these Hooters races. But now what's happened is while he was slowing down trying to get in the pits, it's strung this field all the way around, and the guys are even fast cars are going to be a lap down here shortly.
You can see Charlie Ford and Brian Vickers have stretched it out. They're still running 1 and 2, and they've opened up a lot of distance on the third-place machine, which should be that of Jeff Agnew now that Clemens is out of the mix. Here comes Shoemaker in the 27, Dale Delozier in the 10. They're battling back there for 18th spot down in turn 3. Meantime, the 15 car not quite up to speed yet. Bill Clemens deciding he needs to bring the Hooters Ford back to the attention this year. Let's go back and see the car.
Well, there's something about the handling of this number 15 Hooters car that Bill Jr. still doesn't like. They came in, they replaced the front right tire after Bill flipped the wall just a few laps ago, and now USAR officials want a closer look at the front right of this race car before they let Bill go back out. Now, here's the problem. Guys, this is all happening under green. He's already lost one pit stop coming in to change this tire, and now this is pretty much enough to eliminate him from the front runners of this race completely with no hope of getting back in it. I mean, he's lost at least 4 or 5 laps just in the last few minutes.
A tough situation for Clemens' team. Actually, the black flag was because he was speeding, leaving pit road, so he'll have to come back in for a stop-and-go penalty. Meantime, the battle for 5th and 6th. Mark Nesbitt in the 30, Marty Lindley in the 01, really going at it. Scott, under the hood of the 15 car back there, what were they trying to accomplish?
Well, I would say what happened is when you saw all those sparks when he was going around the racetrack, the sway bar was partially ground off. It actually hooked the arm that hooks the sway bar to the lower control arm. They're probably going to have to take that thing off. They're going to have sparks all night.
Meantime, our first lead change here in quite some time. Brian Vickers trying to get back out in front ahead of Ford. Can't do it. Bobby Gagetskas cuts them off, and Ford maintains the lead. The lap traffic is very heavy. Earlier today, we talked to Ford about whether the Southern drivers would have the advantage tonight.
We have more time in these cars than these northern guys do. We know what the cars feel like, what they need to feel like. So I think we're going to be in a group. Can I tell them that you said that? Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. But you also tell them I said they go catch up.
Charlie Ford, one of the Hooters ProCup Series veterans. Many of the northern drivers that are joining this tour for the first time don't have experience in these particular race cars that are very similar to a NASCAR Busch Series machine.
Well, and being experienced in these cars is much more important than being at the racetrack. If you understand your race car and you know how it feels, all you got to do is learn the line on the racetrack. The other guys that know the racetrack, they're going to spend all day long trying to get their race car underneath them.
Charlie Ford in the 14 is still your leader. The Sun Graphics machine, the Stewart Components 42 of Brian Vickers right behind him as they lap by Gagetskas in the 12. Agnew in the NGA Hooters Golf Tour 73 riding in 3rd spot. And now Ford has cleared the lap traffic, so he's got open racetrack in front.
Well, it'll be short-lived. Short-lived. They're going to be back in lap traffic. They'll be in lap traffic all night.
33 cars in the starting lineup here tonight. Not many behind the pit wall at this point early in the going as we watch the 3 leaders down into turn 3. Agnew very patiently with Clemens going out of contention a few moments ago. Agnew up to 3rd now, and I've got to think he's going to be a prime contender as we get down to the closing laps here.
If experience means anything, he's a former champion. You know he's going to be patient, bide his time, not wear his tires out.
And we've got trouble on the backstretch, and Ford, the leader, goes around. Agnew makes contact as well with the 16 car. So a tough break for some of the leaders. There's Vickers in the wall in the 42. So the 3 lead cars all come to grief coming out of turn 2. Let's take another look. They were the 06 spinning there, causing that situation. Everybody on the brakes to try to stay out of the way. The 06 machine, Neil Cox, the rookie from Lawrence, South Carolina. Charlie Ford tried to scatter, as did Jeff Agnew. Vickers got into the wall, and the 3 lead cars all sustained damage. Here's another look at it.
You can see Charlie getting on the brakes, and of course Brian Vickers just couldn't check up soon enough. Jeff Agnew trying to drive through it, still has contact. We just jinxed our 3 leaders.
Top 3 on the leaderboard going by the wayside. Let's jump on board the 06 of Neil Cox. And you see him just going around. Nobody touched him, I don't believe.
What a tragic situation for our leader. Charlie Ford needed this worse than anybody out there, I'll tell you.
So Cox refires his machine and rolls away, and here it is from Agnew's machine. He got right into the back end of Vickers' race car and bumps 2 more on the way by. So Jeff Agnew playing pinball down the backstretch here at Jennerstown Speedway. Well, a big crowd on hand here tonight at Jennerstown for the first event of the Hooters Pro Cup North Tour 2001. We'll be back after this.